Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Miles Wesley, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
What's up, dude? Congratulations with your latest single, Neighborhood. And before we really dive into the song, like I really want to know how you kind of discovered your cadence, because your cadence is something that's like super, super dope, and it's like something different from the rest. Like, what was that discovery process like for you?
Yeah, I always tell people that I was so into pop music. Like Justin Bieber was like my catalyst into getting into music. So for the longest time, I was like trying to make Justin Bieber music, and then I was just like, like I would leave the studio after trying to make these like 100% pop songs, and I would be listening to like Travis Scott and like Ray Sherman and all this really hype stuff. And I'm like, man, like why don't I just fucking infuse all of it? You know, why don't I just make this all work? Because that's like who I am. So finally, I just transitioned into bringing those elements in, and it wasn't really a difficult process because I had been digesting so much, content and music in that space. So it really wasn't as hard as people think. And people ask me like, how did you transition from, pop music to just kind of a little bit of everything? And I just tell them that really. So it's just, it's a little bit on the pop end, but also having listened to all that and having those influences was really just how I got my cadence and how, just time, but
And
definitely that
was
combination.
did you feel like it was a like a learning process to kind of learn what your appropriate cadence was for your music?
Yeah, because I feel like when you're trying stuff, there's things that feel more you than others, and it was really just about that. It was about just gut, um, and just learning what I would and wouldn't do. Really learning more so what you wouldn't do is a huge help, more than people give credit to. Like knowing what you wouldn't do is really what makes you an artist. I would almost say more than knowing what you would do, because that's an art in itself. Is just like picking beats and knowing like how you would come on them, and knowing what you would say, knowing what you wouldn't say, knowing what you talk about. That all matters, and that all gets more poignant as with time.
Mhm. So what was the creative process for Neighborhood, and like when did this song get started for you? Like was it a specific like sound? Was it a specific lyric? Like how did that kind of start for you?
It's actually a funny story that I've never told people. I was just in my room one day making a song, and it was a completely other different song. And one of the lyrics I said, like in the second verse too, of all places, it was like we were supposed to make it out the neighborhood, like talking about me and this girl. And I was just like, that's a really cool concept for a song in its entirety. Like the song that I made that day was whatever. So I was like, let me just take that and run with it. And I had tried like one other time making that, like, and I made a full song called Neighborhood, and it was really cool. And then I just, it was really slow. It was like 120 BPM. And then one day my friend Christian's playing these chords at we're at his place. Like after we had already done a session, we had done like a full 8 hour session with my friend Jutes, who you've had on the show. We did like a full session, and then literally at like midnight he starts playing these chords, and then just the whole hook for Neighborhood came out in like one go. And then from there I like wrote the verses the next couple days, and then it was done like pretty much in like 2-3 days. But yeah, that's pretty much how the story came about. And I had always asked people about that concept, like, yeah, I had this concept for a song. It's called Neighborhood, and it's talking about how I made it out of the neighborhood. And it wasn't to say, that I came from like poverty, or like it came from a really bad situations, or like, it's that's not. Some people, I've seen some people like comment that, but it's really just about advancing from a small town mindset, which is, to me, is what this means. And just like advancing from mediocrity, and just kind of celebrating growth.
Yeah, no, I get that. And the fact that you mentioned like this, the first version was like slower with 120 BPM. Like how important is the BPM to your music? And do you have like a specific BPM that fits right for Miles Wesley?
Yeah, so everything's just getting faster, man. Like it's I kind of see like the trajectory, I think, of what's going to happen as far as BPM. But it's just been getting faster. Like the big thing was like 80, which when you double time is 160, and
Mhm.
now it's like not, it's like 90, like 180 to like 200 BPM or like 90 to 100 BPM, which is really fast. And so, yeah, I think it can only get like a little faster before it has to come back down again. But like, that's pretty much, you know, where the hit songs are being, they're trying to make it in those BPMs.
Right.
But
And how
yeah,
does that, go ahead, sorry.
no, that's really it.
And how does that impact like the way that you sing your vocals? Because I love how you bounce from rapping to singing. You don't seem like you have to really transition. I feel like it just like it's like butter for you. But does the BPM really like matter?
No, I think I have I've spent enough time that I can do it pretty much wherever. And I've over the years I've I've recorded every BPM. So this isn't new. It's just like it's more just doing more in this BPM type stuff. But yeah, 90 to 100 BPM right now, or 190 to 200 right now is really going in.
Yeah. So another cool thing about this track is like you kickstarted with that guitar intro, but the guitar is like subtle throughout well, not so subtle, but it's throughout the entire track. Like, is guitar where you mainly start writing your music, or is that something that comes naturally afterwards?
Yeah, I mean, like I'm a sucker for guitar. I always loved like rock music. And I've always been enamored with the guitar. I've been playing since I was 9 years old. Lately, I've even been trying to like force myself to go outside of guitar, but it's just so easy and it's just something that everybody can get down with. And I find it easier just writing the guitar with no drums. So it's really just been like the backbone of my writing for a couple years now, and most of the songs on the project are guitar. But I am trying to venture into other stuff just because I know, a whole album of guitar in this day and age could, get boring for some people, even though it wouldn't get boring to me. But I do understand that, and I try to appease that. And it's just really as of late that I've just been like, all right, let me try and like get some cool sounds that aren't pianos and keys, but are still cohesive with everything I'm making. But I love guitar. I have zero problems with it.
Yeah, I can see how you and Jutes are like friends, just because like his main thing was like he's all around the music. It's not one specific genre, and I feel like you're doing the same thing. But have you guys like really collaborated together when it comes to like songwriting, and like what is that process like between the two of you?
Yeah, I don't know if you heard it, but we just dropped a song on SoundCloud called "Sober Up" literally like a week ago, for just a freebie throwaway song, and it's doing good. So it's a great song. But as far as writing together, I mean, we must have at least 100 songs together, like that we've
Man,
written together. I think on my project alone, on my EP, we have at least two on like a 7-song project. We have a lot. We have like at least like a half dozen songs together, and then songs we've written together. Like I said, probably 100. But he's my best friend, so like it's nothing. He's just always his melody game is just as good as it gets, and he always comes with great lyrics, and we just complement each other very well. And yeah, I mean his project we just did one the other day. Yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm excited for him to put out like a full project.
right, that's dope. Now, wait, are you the reason why he moved out to the States?
No, we met out here.
Oh, you
I
met
met
out
him.
here. Okay,
Yeah, I met him through Omer, the guitar player.
okay. Yeah. So, going back to your music, like with this song "Neighborhood," you produced it with Diamond Pistols, which is also friends of yours or a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was that collaborative process for the production, and how do you feel like you were challenged in the recording process?
So Christian and I have all the songs together on my project. He's the executive producer. He's my favorite to work with. I just think he gets it on such a high level, like production and sonics wise. So working with him is just like it's as perfect as it should be. You're working with like a best friend. So it's jokes, it's fun, a lot of laughing. As far as challenges go, really the mix kind of gave us more trouble than I would have liked it to. Just nailing down the mix. we had sent it around to a couple places, and we finally got it right thanks to Jason Joshua, one of the best in the game. But I would say we probably got hung up on the mix for the longest part, not so much recording or production. Yeah, really just getting the mix right.
And then you mentioned earlier an EP. Is this Neighborhood? Is this part of an upcoming EP that you're working on, or like
Yes,
what
that's correct.
audio work are you working on?
Yeah, so we have the EP done. It's been ready. Obviously, you know, it pushed it back, and the Neighborhood release got pushed back, so everything else had to get pushed back. But the EP is coming in mid first quarter next year, so probably like around Valentine's Day. But yeah, we got features from Jutes, features from Benny Main. The Trevor Daniel song is going to be on there.
Nice.
And then, like I said, it's going to be produced by Christian. He produced it all. So it's really just, you know, just like a friend. It's just all like people I immediately know, all people I hang out with on a day-to-day basis that helps, you know, make this project happen.
Right. Now, who are you on this EP? Like, what is this EP? Is this like a story you're trying to tell, or like what's the idea behind this EP?
Yeah, the EP is called Cowboys Never Die, and it's just like the arc of this, you know, relationship story, with just, you know, me being from Texas, like as far as creative and art direction goes, for packaging it together with just, you know, like a little Western modern, like a futuristic cowboy lens through it. But yeah, it's really just this relationship from start to finish, and it's really good. I'm really proud of it. I'm in the process of shooting a video for everyone, so at the end, once we have all the videos, we're even gonna put it into like a short film bit, and I think that's gonna really help people get the project even more, as opposed to, you know, just having it from audio. It's gonna really bring it 3D.
Right. That's dope. Now, lastly, you've gotten to write for other artists as well. Like, how different is that, writing for other artists, especially when it's like something like K-pop that you've done, to like the music that you do for yourself?
Yeah, I was lucky enough that when I was in high school, I was always like researching like my favorite writers or my producers on these songs that I was enjoying, and I reached out to so many of them, and I was lucky enough that one by the name of Sam Hook, he actually was the only one that responded out to me, and he flew me out to LA, and he only writes for other people, so I got to see like firsthand from like an A-list songwriter. He had like a number one. Just got to see him like basically tap into everybody's world. And so I just saw how he made the connection, and I just kind of mimicked it on my own, and then just carried that and built on that throughout the years. So I had a really good front row seat to seeing like the pros do it. And then I just turned that in my own craft, and was lucky enough to get in a couple situations where I was writing for some big people. And to be honest, more than anything, like I tell people, it's liberating, because just focusing on yourself so like all the time, and writing in one specific like sonic space and landscape, it just can get tiring. So when I say liberating, like just to step outside of that and kind of see it from someone else's view and try and tackle that and have them like it, it's rewarding, and it freshens it up for me. I know not everybody likes writing for other people, and some people don't do it at all, but I'm someone who like needs a break, and I just see it as like another sort of, you know, I love music, so I just see it as another way of doing that.
Right. And have you come across a situation where like you write something for a specific artist, but it's something that you start to feel passionate about, that you kind of want it for yourself also?
Yeah, of course. It's happened like it's happened a couple of times. Luckily never a situation where I was in the room with an artist, but maybe like when I've been writing at home and I had somebody in mind, and then and I was like, damn, this could work for me. So yeah, but usually like when I'm in the room with the artist, I've already accepted that it's theirs. You know, it's not up for me to switch up and try and finesse it. So, but yeah, definitely when I'm alone and not with the actual artist, I've definitely been like, yeah, I could keep this.
Right. Now to
Which
close
is
this
also
off,
another great, that's another great you know, part to it. Writing for other people, you make stuff you wouldn't have made, and then you end up keeping it.
That's true. That's true. I'm sure like on the creative side, it like makes you kind of experiment more when it comes to your personal stuff too in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now to close us off, like what do you feel has been the biggest challenge that you've kind of faced throughout your artist development process?
I just think so much of it is about mindset. People don't realize that, and there's just a lot. There's a lot of external, hardships that artists go through, that just weigh on you on day to day. And it's just like it's really about mental toughness out here, and just having the stamina to stay in the game. But some days are hard, some weeks are hard, and it's hard to be creative in those moments. And I think people don't always realize that, or understand. But I would just say, remembering why it is we're out here, that we do love the music, and pushing those external forces that are negative to the back of your head, and just powering through even when it's difficult, because creative's so much about that vibe that day, how you're feeling in that moment. It's not like a workout where you can just go through the motions. It's you're channeling something. So
Yeah,
I would say that would be it.
that's dope. Well, dude, congratulations with the music, and
No, thank you,
definitely,
bro. Thank you for having me,
definitely
and thank you
excited
for
for you.
everything you're doing for all the artists, for real.
Of course, man. Of course. I mean, you guys have been the reason why a lot of us are able to survive this crazy year. So, the thanks goes back to you guys. So, don't stop
No,
creating,
thank you,
and
bro, for real.
hopefully next time we'll do this together.
No, we have to.